Wait, the court case is today. I need to get ready. Yes, that's right, in 9 hours the court case will officially begin, so make sure to get there on time. In preparation of this important event, I made an edit of the boss in order to get more people to join Team Clone. And after all the hard work and gathering all those clips, surely everybody would be willing and excited to join Team Clone and support the boss in the court case, so I'm just going to check on the boss's channel right now. Right, here it is, let's check the comments and see everybody supporting Team Clone. And wait a minute, what are some of these comments? They got Law by Mike on their team, you're cooked? What do you mean? Nah, hashtag Team Creator, hard win. Team Creator, let's go. Hashtag Team Clone, liberate YouTube from all cringe and all hail the boss. Exactly, this is what I was looking for. Unfortunately for Team Clone, there's a lot of these comments actually, and this is making me a bit worried because it's not looking good for Team Clone, that's what I'm going to say. And that's not all of it, because I stumbled across this poll right here. It's asking if the boss will be found guilty by gathering all the votes in advance. And there's 876 votes, which is a lot, and the results are 10% of people said the boss wouldn't be found guilty. However, unfortunately for Team Clone, the other 90% did class him as guilty, which basically means that Team Clone is pretty much going to get destroyed. But luckily I found a solution which is going to help Team Clone by explaining why the boss does what he does. Because some of the stuff he says isn't entirely wrong. Let me explain right here. So in one clip here, the boss says,
"For far too long, the same tired creators have been pumping out slop for you to enjoy."
Now, whilst a lot of people interpret it as the creators being the Shorts Wars team, this, however, may not be the case. Because the unique thing about the boss's shorts is that anybody could discover them. In fact, the boss himself said that we need to boost these shorts into the algorithm. This means that these shorts could appeal to literally anyone. So if the boss isn't talking about the Shorts Wars team, who is he talking about? Well, he's talking about a phrase every person who watches YouTubers came across before. Brain rot. Now, what exactly is brain rot? Well, brain rot is stereotypically classed as the low-effort, kid-targeted content which many refer to as being Gen Alpha. A good example of brain rot is the chicken nugget meme that happened earlier this year, and I think it's died out mostly now. Another example is Skibidi Toilet, but not the original Skibidi Toilet, but more of the Skibidi Toilet copies that are made from kid-targeted animations, which is another feature of brain rot. How do I know that the boss is talking about brain rot? Well, the boss also talks about this too, when he says in usually most shorts, he says people that endlessly scroll through like slop when they should be enjoying other things. And in this clip right here, he calls them an addict.
"I see you there, mindlessly scrolling behind that screen. You're an addict."
But that's not the end of the story, because there's more to this. In every one of these shorts he makes, he tries to give a motivational message to people to stop scrolling through shorts and do actual other things that involve having fun and making memories. In a way, it's kind of a lifeline for people that have been infected by Gen Alpha, who actually look around and see what there's to do instead of scrolling through shorts. And I think that's a message we all need. However, in his work, he encountered a new problem. Clones, and I don't mean the ones from Shorts Wars, I mean the ones you get online from TikTok and YouTube. This took lazy content to a whole new level for the boss. Get more to that later. Anyway, as the boss started saving more short scorers, he realised he could use these people to do his own work, so he accidentally manipulated a few people. However, it wasn't much manipulation because most people joined by bots, and also all the stuff here is just in the ARG, not in real life. All this man was trying to do is save a fallen generation, but he didn't realise the genuine work of the creators due to many people being lazy and copying content. Because the problem of copying content was everywhere at this point. Creators like Johnny Razor and Dano were getting their work stolen by people just being lazy. The boss knew he needed to stop that, which is why he formed a plan. To destroy these clones, you need to attack them from the source, which is where the original creators come in, and you have to destroy these channels to encourage people not to be lazy. He implies it in the title of this next clip right here.
"I must make a compromise. My mission requires an audience, and to attain it I must make a deal with the devil. I already dispatched my lackeys to curate what I need, and their work will fuel the machine. The gears will turn as progress moves, moving us forward to a utopia of my design. Sometimes the path to success is not the one you want to take, but the one you have to take. I apologize in advance for what I must do, but it is a necessary evil for my greater purpose. Sometimes to destroy the thing that you hate, you must become it. Listen well, I am the boss."
So the boss mentions two things there. One, that he must create a utopia, which is a social media platform that doesn't have any brain rot or any copiers. Also mentions he must become what he seeks to destroy. What he means by that is content thieving. Because I'm sure you can remember those amazing reaction videos the boss made earlier on. Well, this was actually all a part of his plan from the very beginning. You see, while the messages are very effective, how was the people infected by brain rot or YouTube copying ever going to see those messages if the algorithm doesn't recommend the videos? So the boss came up with a very cool and smart plan plan actually. Not only did the boss use the audience of the followers to get them to watch the videos more, but he also needed to use elements that people that are infected by brain rot and people watching content thieves like green screen kids would have in the recommendation page. Not only includes the useless reaction videos, but also the music in the background that's kind of used by Fonk. Just random edits and stuff, you know. These videos would come up on the recommendation page, people would click them and they should hopefully be cured of brain rot or whatever. And I'm not saying that brain rot's always a bad thing, just usually people watch it and they don't even realise what the time is, they spend so long scrolling through the stuff. As you can see, everything the boss does is for the good of the people out there in the YouTube algorithm. He's an innocent person. I'm not the first to admit that his plan is a bit wrong by targeting actual genuine YouTube creators that make good original content. However, the more I look into the situation, the more I understand why he does the things he does. Let's not forget the troubling backstory he had of being swapped and then used for a bunch of experiments by the scientists. So this is my final call. You should make sure the boss remains not guilty, and the reason is because his method was somewhat achievable, and if the creators and him work together, then they could help solve the troubled YouTube algorithm once and for all. The first step is making sure that the boss gets the right punishment. Yes, he should get one, but it doesn't necessarily mean he has to spend life in prison. It might mean he just does some community service. He meant well. So, Team Clone for life. This doesn't mean I hate the actual YouTube creators. I'm a fan of Dano and Johnny and Bundan and all of them. But I wanted just a fun and wholesome ending. Absolutely incredible YouTube ARG. But that's all from me today. If you like the video, that's pretty cool. But also make sure to be there at the court case and vote Team Boss, Team Clone, whatever team you call it. See you after the court case because I don't know what's going to happen after that. That'll be my final video on the case until then. See you then.